Thanks for joining me. So we are here in St. Lucia for our vacation. Just wanted to share this beautiful sunset with you and talk to you about saving for future vacations. So we budget for our vacations annually. We set money aside and say, this is how much we're going to spend on our vacation. So that's what we did for this vacation to St. Lucia. We sat down together, had a conversation, and said, where do we want to go for our vacation? And how much do we want to spend? How much of our income do we want to budget for our vacation? So, doing it that way, we were able to afford this trip to St. Lucia and watch this beautiful sunset. So what we do is we take a look at our annual income, our past vacations that we've taken, and say, was that a feasible amount of money to spend for our vacation, or do we want to spend more? Do we want to spend less? Once we take a look at that, our income that we have coming in, any additional expenses that we have, for example, if we want to get new furniture or if we want to focus on home repairs or home upgrades, just different things like that. We take that into account when we are scheduling and budgeting for our vacations. We also budget for the souvenirs that we're going to spend, any excursions that we're going to take, and also if we want to eat off property. We typically do all inclusive resorts so that we don't have to worry about purchasing food or alcohol, anything like that. We just want to make sure that's included. And all of that doesn't have to be expensive when you go on a vacation. You can find some cheaper resorts. We're currently at Sandals, but there's cheaper resorts like Barcelona Bavaro. There's a couple other resorts that are less than $4,000 that can help you have an enjoyable vacation that's also all inclusive as well. Just some of the things that we budget for. We also don't buy new outfits when we go on vacation because we are on vacation for 6 to 7 days, sometimes longer. But whenever we go, the outfits that we wear, the bathing suits that we wear, like no one's ever gonna see us again unless we make a new friend on vacation. So we typically, recycle the same outfits over and over again. Welcome in. Again, this is just the sunset here in St. Lucia. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. We're currently at the Sandals Grand. I also want to show you the pitons here in St. Lucia as well. Not going to miss this sunset view. But these are the pitons here in St. Lucia. We aren't going to that mountain. We are going to Pigeon Park to hike up Pigeon Park, get some good views there as well. But loving it here in St. Lucia. Yes, it's an amazing view. No, have I had KFC chicken? Actually, I'm not a fan of KFC chicken. Not a fan of chicken generally. It's not in my diet. But what we did have was some nice spicy fish salad here at one of the, I think it was Bayside Restaurant here on the resort. We're getting ready to go to the Gross Friday night street party, so we're getting ready to do that. So we're gonna have some fun out on the town with the locals here in St. Lucia. Also do a little bit of souvenir shopping. So there's gonna be live music, just catching the vibe of St. Lucia. So we're here celebrating our 20-year anniversary. We met 21 years ago. So this is our trip, our gift to ourselves for making it 20 years in marriage. Has anyone ever been to St. Lucia? Or do you have a trip coming up soon? Again, like I mentioned before, like we budget for these vacations. Our next trip will be to Jamaica. That'll be potentially like our last Sandals vacation because the price is a little bit higher than other all-inclusive resorts. So I like to, just look at other options. One of the ones that I really loved was Barcelona Bavaro in Punta Cana, Dominica. That one we spent like $3,000 for 7 nights, and it was a suite. So we had a living room area, we had separate showers, we had a bedroom area. Everything was separate. So I had like my own little space, my own little home away from home. But I've been wanting to come to St. Lucia since I watched Top Chef, and one of the chefs that was on Top Chef, she's from St. Lucia. Love the way she talked about the country, love the way she cooked her food. And I am going to try one of the dishes. So we're going to Duke's, which is recommended by our driver. And he said go to Duke's, get the fish and rice, and also ask for the sauce that's on the rice. So definitely gonna check that out. Beautiful sunset. Hey Crojack, this is in St. Lucia. It does look like Cancun. Everyone's turning in now.
I said I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, they're so sweet down there. Wait a minute, I'm gonna show y'all the little flag. Probably can't see. Oh, I think that's the Curacao flag right there. That is the no, that's Barbados flag in the back. Also, when I travel, I also like to have a bracelet. So I have a Pandora bracelet. I don't always get the Pandora charms. I get the Island Treasure charms. So wherever we go, I like to kind of like chronicle my vacations with the charm bracelet that I have. So I added in St. Lucia, so check that off my bucket list. I'm thinking 2026, I want to go outside of the Caribbean, hopefully to Paris or somewhere like that. I have not been yet. I've only been to the Caribbean besides my military travels. But definitely want to check out something outside of the Caribbean, but loving it here in St. Lucia. What questions do you have about budgeting for travel, vacation? Again, like I mentioned before, we set money aside every single year for our travel budget. With us becoming debt free, we've said, okay, what do we do with our money? We continue to save, continue to invest, continue to put money away for our children and their future, but we also wanted to enjoy what we've worked for up until this point to get us debt free, to allow us to enjoy those luxuries of life. So we said, okay, you know what, let's travel. Let's put some of that money to use. I work in, so I'm a financial coach, but I also work in human resources as well. So, I'm like, you know what, I deal with people all day. How can I enjoy the fruits of my labor? So what question do you have, Coach Jack? Welcome in, watching the sunset here. Rojak. So we're at the Sandos Grand. And last night, it was pretty loud. I'm an early bird, don't typically stay out late. So around 10, 11 o'clock, there was music playing. So with this room that we have, I'm pretty sure it's the honeymoon suite, you could hear them singing. So that's the only downfall of that. But you know what? It's We're still here in St. Lucia, so we loved it besides a little bit of that noise that was coming in. I am so glad y'all are here with me today. Look at those beautiful colors. Let me try to zoom in on that. Like I mentioned before, we are going to you're going to hike Pigeon Island, and it's actually a short walk. So you take a right. Once you're on the resort, you take a right. You can walk right off the property to go to Pigeon Island. The locals are there. There's a gift shop that's there. There's more restaurants that are there. If you aren't a fan of the Sandals food, so it's your standard Sandals food, nothing special. So I like to experience local culture. So that's why I want to go to the Thirsty Parrot. That's right off of property. And again, like I said, once we go to the Friday night party tonight, I want to try Duke's as our driver recommended. And then we also found some local souvenirs as well. Yeah, Sandals does have people that come on property, but I like to get local handmade souvenirs. I want to get a souvenir that's made by the labor of the work that the locals put into it. They put that time and effort into it, and that's my way of giving back to the community outside of, spending money at restaurants and frequenting local bars, things like that. So definitely enjoying my time here. This is day 2 for us here in St. Lucia. We're here until the 1st. Just a tip about leaving on the 1st. If you travel on the 1st, your flight is cheaper than if you were to travel on January 2nd, because that's when everyone's trying to get back home. We also travel on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because it's a lot cheaper, even in the United States. If you travel on a Monday or a Friday, that's when people are traveling for work or traveling to get back home, so the ticket prices are a little higher. So it's very important to travel midweek if you can, Tuesday through Thursday, so you can get a cheaper flight that way. Also, booking your flight in advance is very helpful. The prices aren't going to change substantially. You may save a few dollars, but you risk not having a seat next to the people you're traveling with if you book later. So book your flights early so that you can get the seat that you want, and at the price. I mean, if you're traveling, that means you have the funds available to go on that vacation. So make sure you just set that money aside. You can also use Trip Finder, and I also use a service called Navon. So Navon compares, it's Nav, V as in Victor, AN as in Nancy, and it compares flights on all of the different airlines. And I found that there's not much variance. I've even looked at flights after we booked ours and we've gotten closer to the date, and the prices are the same as if I would have booked them 6 months ago. So just be mindful of that, and just want to make sure you're as comfortable as possible and get everything you want out of your vacation. Look at this beautiful sunset in St. Lucia. They just took down the holiday decorations today, gearing up for the new year. So I want to give you a view of the pitons. I wish I had so we were out on the beach earlier today. My room in the background, but we were out on the beach enjoying the sun and the sand. So now just hanging out. I'm getting ready to go out to the Friday night beach party, but just wanted to enjoy the sunset before I started to get ready. Look at how those colors just changed. It's beautiful. So welcome in. So again, my name is Annette Harris, a financial counselor, financial coach, whatever you want to call me. This is one of the many trips that we go on in our debt-free journey. So my husband Dwight and I are known as the debt-free military veterans. So we are here traveling right now the Caribbean. Eventually, we'll venture outside of the Caribbean, however you want to say it. But just wanted to share a little bit of our journey with you, and just explain to you how we budget for our vacations. Um, and like I said before, I budget annually, so we have already budgeted for our vacation for 2025. We've set the money aside. We actually were almost getting ready to go outside of our budget. So what I did was I switched one of our travel trips to Mexico from one resort to another. So we found a $4,000 resort, all inclusive of course, and I found a cheaper one actually on Reddit. There's a guy on Reddit that has a list of resorts by price from 1,000 all the way up to like $10,000 plus, and he ranks them based on the beaches, like does it have a good beach, is it a nude beach, does it have good food, is it all inclusive, and also the location. So that's how we budgeted for 2025 for our vacations. It's just, using those different resources. So welcome in. We're looking at the sunset view here in St. Lucia. Thank you for joining me. My goal is to kind of like share this with you all, but I would love, if someone would, hit a thumbs up, like, share this video with others so that they can also see the splendor and joy of this beautiful view. Leave a message down below, comment. What questions do you have about travel, about personal finance? Ah, that's the color I was looking for. Look at that. Even when I'm at home, I don't go outside and watch the sunset. So definitely when I'm in another country, I want to see this beautiful sunset. How often do you get to wake up and see the sunrise or the sunset? The sky is amazing. So this is at Sandals Grand, St. Lucia. We are on the 3rd floor. We're next to the butler's suites, but we never get a butler. We like to just go on the floor, do our own thing. I don't like to be bothered. I can schedule my own restaurant. And I don't want to tip a butler either. At this location, I know it typically at Sandals, you have to kind of like search for a chair. People complain about the chairs, but at this location, and also in Curacao and Barbados, there were plenty of chairs available on the resorts. Lots of them were shaded as well. I just want to share this beautiful sunset with you here in St. Lucia. Unfortunately, it's behind the clouds, but the sun is setting. Hope y'all are having an enjoyable day, had a happy holiday, that you have plans for the New Year's. They're taking the flags down now. Remember when I was in the military and I had flag detail? I hope y'all are enjoying the sunset here in St. Lucia. It's getting a little bit lower now. The sky is beautiful and amazing. So this is, of course, our last trip of the year. Where did we go this year? So we went to Barbados this year. We were able to go do a little souvenir shopping. We toured the caves in Barbados. You can check my previous videos regarding our Barbados cave tour that we did. Never thought I would go in a cave, but I definitely went in a cave in Barbados. So that was an exciting adventure to learn more about stalagmites and stalactites. We've also been to Curacao, so check out the video on Curacao. I'll post this St. Lucia overview video probably within the next week or two. We get back on the 2nd, so I go back to work on the 3rd, so I gotta give me a little bit of time to get that video created, give you all my tips about St. Lucia. And this resort is very nice here at Sandals Grand. We took a helicopter flight to get here. Once you land at the airport, you do have like an hour and a half, hour 45-minute ride to Sandals Grand. So we ended up taking a helicopter, and it was a 15-minute flight on the helicopter. And then from the helicopter, we took about a 10-minute ride. There was a driver there waiting for us, and he got us to the resort. The advantage of that was that we didn't have to come on the bus with everyone else, and typically you have to wait around and they call you, like, until you get to your room. So because we got here before everyone else, our bags were already ready and we could go ahead and get lunch and get on the beach the same day, and we've never had to do that before. And to end our vacation, I also didn't want to do an hour and a half, hour 45-minute long ride, so we booked the helicopter to go back. And one of the other commenters that I found on Facebook was saying that they'll pick up your bags at 8 o'clock in the room, and they'll be back at the airport waiting for you by the time you get there. So you just do have to spend a little bit more time at the airport. But again, I'm not a fan of the bumpy rides back and forth to an airport, especially after having such an enjoyable vacation. So thank you for joining me. What questions do you have about traveling a debt-free journey of your own? Let me go here. Oh, lights are coming on. Also want to give you a view of the Pitons. So the Pitons are the famous mountains here in St. Lucia. The Piton Mountains. We will be visiting, don't want to move too fast, Pigeon Island. So we're going to hike up Pigeon Island tomorrow to right outside the resort. Some people may pay for the excursion, but we're not paying for the excursion. We're just doing it all on our own. So the sun is probably all the way down now. That ship's been out there, that yacht has been out there all day. That yacht even has a helicopter on the back of it. Don't know whose yacht that is? Welcome in. Thank you for joining me here in St. Lucia. Sun is almost set. Beautiful colors in the sky. How many of you are on a debt-free journey? How many of you have travel plans that you want to check off on your bucket list? A couple of locations I want to go to is Paris and Egypt. I have a cousin who is currently in Dubai. She's going to go to Egypt, but there's a travel advisory right now. So I'll go to Egypt a little bit later. But I want to go to Spain, so we are learning Spanish. using Duolingo. I've been learning Spanish using Duolingo for about 3 years now, so I would say I'm intermediate in Spanish. So I feel a little bit comfortable, if I had to go to Spain and start speaking a little bit of Spanish. It may not be the same dialect, but I could get by. Welcome in. Where's the last place you traveled to? Welcome to St. Lucia. Like, subscribe, share this video with others. Like I said, I will publish the long form video of our St. Lucia travel journey a little bit in the coming weeks. Man, sun's almost set. It was setting behind the clouds. If you're just joining me, are you a subscriber? Is this your first time seeing one of my videos? What would you like to see in the coming future? When it comes to personal finance, when it comes to travel, are there any locations that you've been to, that you wanted to go to? Any resorts that you're a fan of, that you've heard about, want to learn more about? Help me plan my travel journey. Yeah, I have some places in my mind of where I want to go, but I would love to explore other options as well. Haven't been to Canada yet. Not a fan of the cold. What do y'all have going on for Friday night? Like I said, we'll be going to the Gross Friday night street party, mingling with the locals, other people from other resorts. The older I've gotten, the less I wanted to go out on a Friday night. So going out this Friday night from 8 to 12 is going to be a stretch for me. But, when it's St. Lucia, do what the St. Lucians do. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to go get ready for the Gross Friday night street party. Like I said, I will post a longer video about my St. Lucia experience a little later and talk more about budgeting for your future travel. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others if you enjoyed what you've seen here today.